It's comforting seeing friends' faces. Some of them goes as far back as my high school days, and it was funny. Miss Whitehurst made the funny. Darren, her son, he was a center and I was a quarterback, so we knew each other real well. Our senior year of school, so we had a lot of fun. His dad was our head football coach. So my brother, we had this planned out, and he went to his doctor, and he said, "We've got to do it. We've got to do it today. We've gone too far." So he had his hip replaced 4 days ago. So traveling from Houston, blood clot issues, and he just couldn't make it. Wasn't worth the risk. So that's why he's not here today. But he's here in heart and his spirit. So we will proceed. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh. And between these two events is a thing we call life, right in there. And I hope you're living it for gusto. I think my mom did. I hope you're living it every day that you have it with gusto. And I would go on to saying that in celebrating my mom, she was a mother, wife, daughter, sister, aunt, all of it. And we used to sit out on the porch sometime, and I'm going to try to stay to the script. I forgot my two commitments I was going to make to you. Some of you know me better than others. Mr. Green, Mr. Ballard. Two commitments to you. Number one, I will stay to the script. So we're not eating supper instead of lunch here. Number two, if I get to where I can't finish this, Casey's going to come up and finish. Okay. Mom was born in Lamesa, Texas. And I used to sit out and go, "Lamesa, Mom, you have some friends? We have any family in Lamesa?" "No." Do you remember living there?" "No." So this on and on. She said, finally said, "Well, we were coming back from Colorado. Didn't make it to Pecos. She was born in Lamesa." And we laughed about that. So that was her. And she had a couple of cousins that were just, they were tight as glue. And that would be Melba and Lorene. I love to say your name, Lorene, because you can drag it out, Lorene. Love that. They used to travel to Pecos for Merkel. Spend 2 or 3 months a year. That's what they did back in those days. And that is where they attended the fully accredited Instructional Institute of Cooking in the Great Outdoors. They made mud pies, and they made mud pies, and they made mud pies. And my mother, would y'all ladies stand? Oh. Melba, stand. Lorene, please stand for me. Mother would be giving you a hug right now because she loved telling about those stories. That she's my best friends. So, and by the way, we're having dessert, and I think I did bring some of your pies, so to speak. So you're on your own out there on that. Oh, Mom loved those times. After graduating from Pecos High School, Mom got a job working as a bank teller. And it was at that time that Dad, Dalton Mosley, drove through, saw the most beautiful woman he'd ever laid eyes on, working as a bank teller at the drive-thru. And I said, "Dad, you see him all the time? Maybe her daddy's president of the bank or something?" He said, "Well, you know." And Mom said that she saw that good-looking hunk of man she had always dreamed of. She said she just couldn't. So Dad was hoping Mom had some money. She was hoping he had some money. Neither had any money, and they didn't, because they'll listen to the stories. But they soon found out that neither had much money, but they had an unending love for each other. So they got married, had 2 sons, my brother and I, Dale. Family intact. They hooked us up in church, and I don't mean just kind of once in a while. They hooked us up in church Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, Friday. It didn't matter. Youth groups. I'm seeing my youth group members out here too. Love you, brothers, sisters, for sure. Because there's a bond happens there. There's a bond happens there that we can't. So we went on and went on in years. Dill and I got a little older, 8, 9, 10 years old, and so forth. And Mother, she might say, "Yes, you get that look? kicked Dell and I out of the house. Homeless. Kicked us flat out. I want to be a quote for you, because I've heard Mother say it. She says, and I've got quotes around this, get out of here and go find a yard to mow. It was summertime. We were running through the house, wrestling, knocking stuff down. And she had about had enough of that. She said, y'all go out and go find a yard to mow. And that's where Dale and I started our mowing career. If he was here, he would be laughing. So and you got to know, I grew up, you know, if Mother said go out and go get a yard to mow, we're used to weighing orders. We went and got a yard to mow. You know, we had a dad that was, you know, we were marching in a straight line, some of you know. So we go down and there's a whole block. So we go up. Yeah, you can mow the yard. Mowed a whole city block. The apartments near Crockett Junior High, some of y'all flash back. Backyards, front yards, sweeping, mowing, weed eating. I mean, it took us over half a day. $25. That's $12.50 a piece. But we thought we were rich, and we had that. Mom, we always said, Mom, you got us started. It's because of you, and we had a lawn mowing career. I want to tell about three things. Cameron alluded to mom's giving spirit. First thing, her and her sister made a trip to New Mexico to see her mother. Just a normal trip to see her mother. Well, two of them, not only two were in the car when they arrived back, there was three. So she moved Mom Walker, who we called Mom Walker, grandmother, into live with her and Dad. And Dad was a trooper. You know, he's always been a trooper because he took on his family, Mom's extent, and loved them all. Dad was a good man. So Mom Walker lived with him for a while, and Mother came down with a reaction of sulfur to a medication, and she was fine, but they didn't know, so she moved to a rest home, and that's where she spent the rest of her years there. So I'm talking about Mother's giving spirit. She just, no, we're going to do this. So the next thing is she calls me up and says, Dennis, you want to go to Newton, Iowa with me and Dad to get married? Will you come with us and help us? And I said, yeah, I know where Newton, Iowa is. She talked to her sister Mary. The reason I don't have to look at my notes because I read these 100,000 times. She was talking to her, and Mary said, Margaret, I don't think I can last another winter. Electricity went out. No heat. I like to froze to death. I can't do it. You know, Mom, you want to come to Texas? Yeah. So me and Casey, you were running about like this, and we got you in the car seat, and threw him a few snacks along, and we were gone. We took off, and we went to Newton, Iowa, and loaded Mary up and got her back. And Mom, she loved her sister, loves her brothers, but to have her sister back, her best friend. Mom got her apartment behind Walmart, nice place. Had to have a code to get in, paid her electricity bill, paid her rent, helped her out the whole 9 yards, the whole trip. That was Mom. And they would everything together. If they went somewhere, her and Dad, let's go get married. They went with her. Mom loved her sister. The other thing was, I never did get too involved. Mother ran her, as you know, Margaret, she ran her own show. I know Jim Walker's saying, yeah. Jim Walker is the youngest of the 5, and he knows. Margaret said something, we did it. Mother took in a young lady. There's a friend in Pecos, Texas. We didn't know the lady through this other person. She took her in to live with her 2 or 3 months at a time. And she lived, Mother took care of her. And she helped her out in every way. Food, place to stay, finance. She took care of that, and she would come and go. But we kept watch on her, and you know, there was no foul play, but Mom took care of her. And finally she got out on her own, and she made it. And that was just Mom. You're hurting, she's going to come get you. She's going to come fix it. And do everything she can to. And that was Mom. One funny story. And Mother, Dad, and Mary, they all traveled together. They'd gone to Austin, Texas, on the way back. Don't know why to this day. I know why I called. I don't know what the doctor said, because she had a surgery coming up for long. But I dialed, and I don't know why I did it. My dad answered, and I said, this is Officer Pulowski. And my dad, he's smooth. He's a smooth operating superintendent, 20 years. He said, I mean, he didn't go, hey, Dennis, what are you doing? No, he knew it was me. This Officer Pulaski. Margaret, Officer Pulaski wants to talk to you. I went, whoa, this is going further than I thought. So I began to say, I'm Officer Pulaski, and I need to talk to you about some things. We got some issues. And I was just making stuff up. She did not know it was me. And she got a little sassy with me. We got a second right here on that one. So I said this, and I shouldn't have, but I said, Miss Mulder, you just find a nearest convenience store. First one you come to, you need to pull over, stand out, put your hand on the hood. I said those words on the and so I hung up. Dad later tells me, he said, oh God, Dennis, she just whipped across lanes, right in the convenience store. Dalton, go to the restroom. Dad may have gave orders in the younger day, but he started taking them then. And he went to the restroom. Dad had Parkinson's, and he got wrong. He come out and kind of looked at me, Mark, what are you doing? He didn't know what I had told her. But I was talking to her, so she was all out of shape. And she had her hand on the hood, and Dad said, Mom, what are you doing? She was kind of, Officer Pulaski said, we'll wait for him right here. Oh, he died laughing. He goes, Mark, that was Dennis. Yeah. Mary's in the back seat. She's rolling. She can't, tears in her eyes. She couldn't breathe for 3 minutes. And what made it so funny? Dad said, well, it probably wouldn't have gone over so good, except that about 2 or 3 months prior, Mom got her speeding ticket. She kind of let things go. Wasn't anything she addressed. So she, in her mind, was, I got that outstanding ticket. I didn't take care of it. So Officer Pulaski was right on target. She didn't know that. And I could remember, and she felt the brunt of that for a long time, because I remember Mary, when they were traveling, Mary would go, Margaret, you better slow down. Officer Pulaski. I needed to laugh. Thank y'all. And after all that, Mom broke her arm. They sent her to the Chatfield. It was God's blessing. She didn't break it bad. It was just a break that she could wear a cast, no surgery. She went to the Chatfield, lived there 3 years, loved it. It was home. She had her own little room. She'd go down the hall 3 times, not too far, be in the cafe. And she would eat there, see her friends. Now, everybody had assigned seats. They sat at their own table. And then she'd come back. And I said, Mom, what are you doing, dude? She said, what do you think we do? We eat and go to our room and sleep and get up and come eat again. Then we go back and sleep and come eat again. So, okay. I know she was doing well. And Mom, she would be okay if I said this. Because they would always call Dana, she needs meds, Dean took care of her like it was her mother all the way. And she did that for me, and she honored her mother-in-law far and beyond. But they called and said, Dan, can you get Margaret some bigger pants and some bigger panties? Yeah. So I said, she's eating well, and if you're gaining weight, your prosperity, as they call it, prosperity, I guess you'd say. Oh, man. And I give it up to my boys and my wife with Mom. Man, Dina, while I'm at work, she did it all. She did. Mom went to follow Casey's football games. She didn't want to miss unless it was raining. And
we sat through one of the rain with her.
Yeah, I guess we did. Okay, we got caught in the rain a time or two. She loved her grandsons. She loved her granddaughter. And she always loved them. I remember this about Mom. She never really had the anxiety about, oh man, I don't know what's going to happen. I hope we get through this, or I hope this is not a bad report or something. She never had that. And what she did have, we'd go see her, or we'd take her, or Dina would go do the finger, and she would always be so thankful. She said, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all the time. Those were her words. She never complained. Why don't y'all come more? thank you all. And if I ask her, or if she ever said, and caught herself, she'd say, there's a lot of people a lot worse off than I am. What am I to blame about? I've got a family, I don't have anything to be unthankful about. So then I saw, some of y'all may listen to Christian music, Big Daddy Weave. Big Daddy Weave had a little YouTube clip. He said, in a scientific study, they found that the part of the brain that houses anxiety, anxiousness, all that stress and anxiety, and the part of the brain that houses thanksgiving, thankfulness, he said they cannot operate simultaneously. I mean, I don't think he was blowing smoke. I don't know how they did a little research, but it sounds good, and I kind of believe it. Because I think Mom didn't have the anxiety because her mind, she was always so thankful. He said you can't do both things at the same time because your mind won't let you. I remember that about Mom so much. And then it comes to me and reminds me, it says, do not be anxious for anything, but in everything through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, present your request to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Jesus Christ. Mom, I wrote down here, I'll just read what I say in closing. Mom would often say when feeling a little sorry for herself, I know there are a lot of people worse off than me. I should be thankful for what God has given me. Those are always her words, and we've tried to incorporate into our lives at this point. We're going to have a little time of share if you have something you'd like to share, but Dee's going to do this and take it from here.